Today is going to be an exciting day at the Hargrove office as we bring in a local celebrity. Welcome the kicking phenom, Bert Auburn, conference champion of the Texas Longhorn football team, all-conference kicker. He's going to be our new spokesman. Bert's the best kicker in the conference. He plays for the Texas Longhorns. As you can see, Bert's f***ing awesome. Hey, Stevie.
Dude, you're really replacing me with a kicker?
No, not at all, man. Hey, guys, who wants a picture with Stevie? Anyone? Stevie almost won a Big 12 championship. Hargrove Roofing. Know who's on your roof.
Yeah, it's tough. I think Coach Sark hit it. It's the life of a competitor, and it sucks being on this side of things for sure. I mean, back-to-back years, pretty much the game decided in one play. And, it's hard. It's hard. All the work that we put in, being in the Final Four back-to-back years and coming up short 2 years, it's tough. But, I think that's how life is. You're going to get punched in the face and in some hard moments.
Stevie Lee, it's never easy to move on when you have high expectations, when you are really, you have that dream. You played on some of those great teams with Matt Brown. You thought about national championship often. And in this new era of the playoff, man, it has survived to see another week. How long has it taken you to get over that loss that Texas suffered in Dallas against, I've said it, I thought Ohio State was the best team in the country. How long has it taken you? Are you out of the funk yet after that loss in the CFP semifinals?
I'm out of the funk, man. It was a great year.
Yeah.
Had a lot of fun watching the guys, going to see practices, and it was a great year, man. It was a little bit of a funk. Honestly, I left the stadium happy, man. I honestly did. Now, I can't talk about my wife and the way she felt. We went over to Lowe's or Live, the hotel next door.
Right.
Had dinner, and she was just sulking at dinner, man. And I actually took a picture of it, and it was funny. I was happy about my year, man. It's been good. It was great. When the strip fumble happened, I was upset, and I was like, golly, this can't be happening. And then, that when the bell rung, it's like, man, we can't be mad about this year. We can't. So no. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good too. It took me till probably 1 p.m. yesterday. I was in a funk. I don't know what it is. I can't sleep in on weekends. I should have after that. But at 1 o'clock, I was like, you know what? Let's turn over a new leaf. There's a lot to be celebrated with that season. And overall, great college football season. And there's a lot to look forward to. I want to give a shout out to the Hargrove family. They have supported us since day one. They continue. And Stevie, he has that voice. He has that slogan, the marketing slogan that is down to a T.
Hargrove Roofing. Know who's on your roof.
Hey, we love them. And I know that they probably are sulking still, but they're fun folks, and they are really genuine people. You can trust their work. I've used them. Stevie has recommended his friends, Hargrove Roofing. 100%, you'll definitely know who's on your roof. Hey, before we get this thing going, follow us on all of our social media platforms at Facebook, IG, X, Twitter. You can call it whatever you want. Elon doesn't care, just as long as you are jumping on to it. He may censor you, I don't know. But YouTube, subscribe for free. TikTok, we still need some work done on that. But Stevie, we got one of our best friends, our brothers on here, who is man, he looked good wearing that number 1 jersey back in the day. And we got to I'll never forget, he said, quote, "I'm too good to be redshirt."
Sounds about right. That's this guy. Yes.
Man, without any more delay, let's run.
Quinn Ewers, fresh off the 4th and 13. Jack Sawyer, give me that! Strip set, flop jack! He scoops, he runs! Jack Sawyer, touchdown!
Shit, I guess just don't fall like Will did. No, I'm joking. I'm kidding. But no, seriously, I hit about the 30, and I look back. I'm like, I hope I got some blockers. I'm running out of steam here. And they were running with me side by side, and man, that just speaks volumes to who this team is too. We always have each other's back, and it was a special moment. I love Columbus. I love the state of Ohio, and I love Ohio State football. And I just think that they're a great team, and they got great scheme. And I give Coach Knowles and Coach Day a lot of credit for the way they schemed them up. And they made a lot of big plays too. They punched us in the mouth a lot of times throughout the game. And like I said, they're a great team, and we knew they had a lot of good stuff, and they were going to land some punches as well.
There it is. Hey, I feel like there's mutual respect from Ohio State toward Texas after that 28-14 win over Texas, ending the Longhorn season. Ohio State continues, Stevie.
Yeah, it was fun to watch, man. The only thing that I hate with when, and I know hate is a strong word, but I hate it when someone submit their history in their school against us. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So that kid, what's his name? I'm sorry. Jack Sawyer.
Yeah.
He'll forever be known for that.
At his school.
At his school. And Roy Williams at OU is forever known for flying over our running back and hitting Chris Sims,
Right.
Michael Crabtree is forever known at his school at Texas Tech for
great points.
Yeah. So I hate when someone submit their legacy against us in their university. So, but hats off to him. He did it. This is what little kids dream about.
All right.
Strip fumble, picking up and running all the way back for a touchdown. He did it all himself. That's a dream come true to anybody that plays defense as a little kid, man. So He did it, and hats off to him.
I am Sean Clentz, the host of Stories Inside the Man Cave, co-host of the Pass Rush of Stevie Lee. We love this series, and sadly, after today, we're going to go every other week. This non-football season, unless there's some big topic, big story, big guest that we line up. But every other week, it's been a fun ride. The fun continues in this episode 446. We're about to have more fun, but I want you to hear from Sarkisian on that last drive. You got to give a shout out and props to the Texas offense for driving down to the 1 yard line.
The last thing you think is that, the sack and this is going to bounce right to the guy who's going to run for a touchdown. So it's unfortunate that was the circumstances, because there's a really nice drive by the offense to get all the way down there, and first a goal on the 1 and we don't score. You quite frankly probably don't deserve to win that way.
Good point. What's your thoughts? Or you know what I think we ought to do? I can't wait for you and a former number 1. We need to talk about that with him. But before we get to him, man, I want you to, Chip Kelly, coach NFL, coach the Oregon Ducks, national champion. He's the offensive coordinator of Ohio State. And he made it a point to compliment the Texas defense.
The defense has done what they've done all year long. And again, Texas is a really good defensive football team, so we knew we had our hands full and it was going to be a battle. It was going to be a 60-minute battle, but I think that last drive our offense went down the field and scored, gave us the energy to go up 21-14, and then for our defense to finish it off the way they did was fitting.
He earned his paycheck.
He did.
It was not easy. It was not easy for Ohio State.
Yeah, so I saw the progression in the first half of what he was going to be doing. So we started putting pressure in their quarterback's face, and he dialed up the perfect play going before halftime with that screen, because we were playing back to play the screen and playing the short routes, and then we just started pinning our ears back and going after the quarterback. And they read that, and through that that screen over the top of our defensive backs or our defensive line, and went for a touchdown because we were being very aggressive at getting to the quarterback, which is fine. But he dialed up a perfect play for what we were doing at the time.
Oh, it was brilliant. It was brilliant. Hey, I think you were there. I didn't make the trip, but our new VI, he's not a new VI. He's a legend in the man cave. He's about to be a 3-time VIP alumnus. Let's bring in the Norman Watkins.
With nowhere to go, ball in the air. Watkins has it. Unlawful. Ball 3 on the goal line, and let's see. Texas says up in the backside hit. The ball went flying. Norman Watkins recovers his own fumble.
There he is, man. The Norman Watkins, man. Yeah, I mean, I know it's not a CFP or New Year's Six game, but back then for you guys, going to the Sun Bowl and beating Mac Brown in North Carolina, that was kind of a big deal.
Well, you know what it was. So this was before social media. So I made myself a little bit, right? So I'm looking at you guys saw the big old shoulder pads and the old filming and all that stuff. But man, you know, Mac Brown team was really, really good that year. They had a lot of first round and second round draft picks on that team, and they were predicting us to get creamed. And so that was actually, guys, my last game at the University of Texas.
That's right.
So I went straight through all 4 years and played in every game and played my freshman year in every game and started my 3 years. So I went straight through. So it flew by. And I don't know if I ever told you this, Sean and Stevie. I was a 17-year-old freshman at UT. So a lot of the kids that came a year after me was older than me. So I was a really young. Actually, I arrived at UT at 16 and then turned 17. So, you know, I played my senior year with a dislocated shoulder. So go figure, right? I went from a guy that was supposed to get drafted going into my senior year to dislocating my shoulder the second game of the season and then playing throughout that whole career. And then when it was time to go to the combines and get drafted, like, the scouts like, Norm, you got to have surgery on this. So I literally played on adrenaline, but that's old school, right? That just kind of, I'm just kind of giving you guys some context on back when I played. I mean, guys would literally go in the game still with concussions after giving a little smelling salt and all that stuff, right? So, but that was a great game. I'm sure Coach Mack don't want to hear about that, but you know, they were a formidable team. It's one of my favorite memories. I actually scored a touchdown. Hopefully that University of Houston, I picked off one against Cleveland for 30 yards and flew out there and did like the electric slide when I got in the end zone. So it was some good times back then. Unfortunately,
you and Mike Adams, right?
Yeah. Well, you know, it's hard to find film unless you have true film. But you know, back then we didn't have. You don't see those video clips and all the stuff that we see now. So I'm glad. It's always fun to see now in this era where you really can get clean film on everybody and get a chance to see those memories for a lifetime. So thanks guys, both of you guys for bringing that memory up. We won the game, and that was Priest's coming out party, Priest Holmes coming out party in that game. You know,
man,
that's good stuff.
Norm, this is kind of, you can tell I've made the switch to basketball. I had to bring out and represent the Thunder. The football season's over with. I don't care about the NFL playoffs. I mean, Texas is done. I probably won't watch the national championship. I probably will.
Of course you will.
I just want to let you know I wore this in honor of you. I had to bring it out. It's not often we wear beanies on these episodes. Yeah. But I want to, real quick, your thoughts. You were there. Thoughts on the Cotton Bowl and that Ohio State team they played.
My initial thoughts. Listen, first of all, I'm so proud of our team. Because if you listen to the pundits, we were going to get blowed out. You know, they put 31 points on Oregon in that game, 24 in the first quarter against Tennessee, right? And I'm thinking to myself, guys, do you guys not look at film? Our defense is ranked number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4 in different categories. We're not getting blown out. You know, even if they beat us, we have a formidable team. And so at that point, when I was talking to people through the week, I'm just listening to these pundits on TV, and you got the Stephen A. Smiths, and I mean, all these guys. all these guys on TV that make a whole bunch more money than a lot of us. And I'm just like, guys, you got to look at film. Texas, I knew that we would go in and fight. But I will tell you this, the theme, you asked me a question about what my thoughts were. Listen, congratulations to Ohio State as well. Players make plays, and that's what they did in that game.
Yeah.
Players make plays, and they made 2 or 3 critical plays that dictated who won that game. Because that could have went either way.
It could have. So
either way.
I thought for a second, deep down, I had faith that, okay, this is getting at they're doing well because they limited them below their average. Our Texas defense limited them below their average, especially what they've done in the CFP. And then the defense made a big play.
Play action. Howard looking downfield, pressure closing in, and he throws a pick. They got near him. The throw was influenced, and David Benda with the first takeaway tonight for Texas.
That's when I thought the momentum swung. Stevie, were you at that point, Texas regained the momentum. Did you think, okay, the door is opening?
Regained the momentum. Shout out to David Benda, alumni.
VIP alumni.
VIP
of
alumni
of the Man Cave.
But, yeah, I thought that we got real good field position right there, and offense go in and score. And and we all know what happened. So, but yeah, that was a big swing of the game. I'm jumping up and down. I'm ready for it, and I just needed the offense to go in and score right then, So that was fun.
So you alluded to it. Then the offense took over. And it was in the third quarter, either halftime. Okay, it was anyone's game. I'm sorry to cover you up, Norm, but then Jahdae Blue, brilliant. They said, "All right, we're probably not going to run the ball like we want to. Let's get him in space." And then this happened.
They can do on this third down play. Pressure comes. Wide open is Blue. Jukes scores. Texas strikes again. That's 2 for Blue.
All right, so that was third quarter. Norm, is it accurate for me to say Texas, they own the third quarter?
You know what? Pleasant surprise for us, right? Because I was reading a stat, guys, prior to the Arizona State game. In the third quarter, we got outscored 66-7.
Yes, that's a good point.
So let that sink in. So I just said, I was talking to some friends, and they were asking me on my thoughts prior to the game. I said, we have to play a complete game. We have to eliminate the turnovers, and we have to execute.
Right.
And for the most part, we did a lot of those things. Obviously, turnovers came back to haunt us again towards the end, but we did execute, and we eliminated a lot of penalties. But I will, listen, I was pleasantly and happy to see that we actually came out and played a good third quarter and made some things happen, and not let them go crazy on us in the third quarter, because again, history sometimes repeat itself. And prior to the Arizona State game, the stat was in the third quarter 66-7. Let that sink in, right?
So Stevie, at that point, what did you think? So the fourth quarter, obviously, everything's determined in the fourth quarter. But I felt at that point that maybe Ohio State would tighten up, meaning not play loose. Did you get that impression going into that fourth quarter?
Yeah, I thought that it started the game over with momentum. We have momentum, and so I felt that felt like we got some breathing room. Let's go out here and play. Everybody's relaxed. The offense is starting to get going, and the defense had figured them out and everything. And so that was a turning point for me in the game. Like, this is really about to happen, right? And so started to get happy and things like that. And then for whatever reason, other things happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Norm, you saw how we started off this after Steve and I kicked off the first this segment of this episode. Right. That was not on Quinn. If anybody, and I'm not trying to call out anybody, but that's the right tackle against a guy who was determined to figure out a way to make a play.
Right.
That strip, sack, and scoop and score. What were your emotions? What were you? Could you even process it when it was happening when you were there?
Are you talking about that fourth down?
Yeah. 4th down and goal.
Terrible play call.
Yep.
I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
No,
you run to the strength of their defense.
Yep.
And I'm saying prior to that call in regards to
the toss sweep.
The toss sweep. But then Quinn, it was just symptomatic of, unfortunately, some things that have bitten us in the past came back to haunt us again with that defense. But Ohio State's a really, really good team, a championship team, and they capitalized. A player made a play. Sawyer made a play on that. But I'm referring to, Sean, the call prior to that. We were what?
Yep.
The 1 yard line. And
yes,
I would have been more happy, guys, with us just running, hey, let's just go straight to the gut 4 times in a row. If we don't make it, then hey, they're a better team.
Right.
But you do not do a toss sweep where you're already 5 yards
deep
by the time the running back gets the ball, and you got a guy like Caleb Downs, who has no other responsibility but to shoot these gaps and be a rover there. It made no sense at all.
So, I'm glad you said that, Stevie. I was livid on that play call. I still don't listen. I don't get paid to make those decisions, nor will I ever. I will. Between the three of us, we have different levels of experience and understanding of the game. I don't want to sound like an angry, pissed off fan. I'm not. But that's the short side of the field. Literally, it was.
Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Stevie, there were more defenders, more Buckeyes on that side of the ball. Isn't it more advantageous to not, like to know what Norm said, to not pitch back something quicker and where you have more versus less of them?
Yeah.
Block up and for the run fit.
Going back to look at it, man, it should have been a timeout or it should have been a audible at the line by Quinn. Seeing that because they were overloaded over there.
Yes.
Almost felt like that they found some kind of tip.
Well, I'll tell you, you know what the tip was, guys? When you bring and teams do this all the time, it never really works. When you start bringing in your defensive linemen, Barron, it's tendencies. They knew exactly what we were going to run.
Yeah.
So you're bringing in all these guys that normally don't play offense, right? It looks pretty and looks good when you bring in these big boys from the defense, and it's fun if it works. But tendency-wise, they knew. Just see how he shot the gap. They knew the exact play we were going to call.
Yeah. And
to your point, Stevie, they should have audibled at the line there.
Yes.
Yeah. I would have been good with using a timeout right there to get the right play in there. But
get the right play in.
But also, I think that Sark is a genius that sometimes gets in his own way. We just saw that, right? Offensive genius. Sometimes that you got to, how do I put it? Again, I'm going to use Coach Royal on this show. Dance with who brought you.
That's it. Right?
Texas has always and will always be about big man football. From when Norm played, from when I played, from now, it should be about big man football. You run the ball up the gut 4 times in a row if you need to get it in the end zone. 4 times in a row. And we always have had running backs that if they get stopped, they're going to fall for 3 yards. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, we got stopped on the first down. line back up and do it again on second down. And if you need to do it again on third down, you know what? Give the Hogs their slop on fourth down. You know what I'm saying? Just do it right up. And you can do different plays right up the middle, but it needs to be between the tackles. That's how Texas win games.
My question is, and then we'll move forward, is I get it. I didn't see a true big set. Jumbo. Meaning, let's go the last big jumbo that I remember that was so effective, bringing Roy Miller, the former defensive tackle, in to block. Texas has done it before. Yeah. They did it last year with Tavondre. Used a pass play. That big man has hands.
And Byron Murphy. Both of them was in there at one
point. Both of them
was in there.
And credit to Ohio State, their defensive line is that good. So you guys have done it. It is reflective of real life. You know, things come to an end. Things don't go out our way. But unfortunately, for a lot of these guys, I think a lot of people are fans of Texas because of the group of people like Michael Taft, Jahdae Barron. And Michael Taft goes from walk-on to All-American. I'm going to go ahead and say it. This kid from Westlake, he emptied the clip, the tank, every time he played.
I gave it all I got. Came in here a walk-on, and now I'm an All-American, but I don't care about that. I care about the love of my teammates. That's truly all I care about. Those are cool accolades, but hearing that a teammate loves me is so much cooler.
Guys, your thoughts on him? And I know there was another piece of video, and I didn't run it. There was another piece of video in the tunnel of him yelling, but a lot of people, there's a lot of ignorance in the comments, questioning his manhood, questioning him, calling it theatrics. Dude, there's a lot of damn emotion that goes into that when everything you love and put your time and effort into. I'm not going to criticize him. You just had a big part of your life. I know it's just a season, but you were so close. To those who may not understand why he was reacting that way, Norm, it's emotional and it triggers you because of finality of it all.
I'm getting emotional now just looking at that. By the way, Taft has become one of my favorite players on the team. Yes. That's not my favorite player. That young man, his story. Now, you talking about writing a movie script on? Listen, all heart. None of his conversations with the media are scripted either. No. Now, the people that criticize him after the game and what he did in the tunnel, those people never played a game of football in their life.
Ever.
When you practice, listen, games are, I hope a lot of people are listening. Games are won in the off season. Okay. Doing those winter drills, burpees, all the stuff that you have to do before you get to the game. And the preparation and everything that goes into forming a team, to see that young man and the whole entire team leave it all on the field, man, I just wanted to give the young man a hug myself. I'm proud to say he's a Longhorn. And one of the formulas, as I was thinking about what you were, how you were talking, Sean, about the culture and where we're at now as a university, one of the things I love that Sark and the coaching staff has done a good job of is when they're recruiting kids, they're recruiting a lot of these young men from winning cultures.
Yep.
And so they are used to winning. If you look at the kids that we have on our roster, a majority of these kids come from winning programs. And so we just take it up a whole nother level once they get here. And that's how they're creating this culture of winning. And not only winning on the field, but winning off the field. Look at how these men represent. Look at that Jahdae Barron interview afterwards. This is, you look at it, I'm just like, man, these young men, you're just like, if I had a company, I would hire them immediately.
These guys are class acts, and it's you hit the nail on the head. It is part of the culture, and I really hope the fans embrace this, because it's not often you see these types of players. I mean, you go back to both of your eras when you were at Texas, Norman from 91 to 94, and Stevie a decade later, 01 to 04, or 2000 to 04, right, Stevie?
Yeah.
Yeah. You had great talent, but you had great players too, who are all success stories. And that leads me to this. Quinn Ewers, the problem I have with this subject right here is I really hope that people start to learn to appreciate what he did for the program, because I was one of those who was on the fringe of kind of criticizing him, and now I don't. About 3 games into this season, I stopped. And this was Quinn after the game.
We grind together, and the love grows together, and it's just been a really cool season, and I'm so proud to be a Longhorn.
So it's not official. He has announced that he's going to enter the NFL draft. Stevie, what's your take on him? And what do you think he'll do? I mean, he could end up in the draft? I mean, get drafted, or do you think he goes into the transfer portal?
First of all, he can do whatever he wants to do. And I think that people should get off his back and let him do what he needs to do for him and his family. Second of all, he did announce, yes, that he was going to go into the NFL draft. And if he does that, hats off to him. And he can actually choose to stay here. He has another year of eligibility, even though he did participate in senior day. But what we have to do is give him his flowers.
Correct.
Guys, we are top 4 in the country the last 2 years. We're the last 4 standing for the last 2 years. And we haven't had that in decades, or in a decade, over a decade, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And so hats off to this kid for leading us there. He has great numbers, as you put up here, and people just still criticize his game. A lot of people was crying from a yacht, So he's done well for us. He cemented his legacy at the University of Texas. He's always going to be a Longhorn, even if he goes somewhere else. He spent most of his time here. He's from Texas. He's going to get recognized wherever he goes. He's a Longhorn. When he graduates, he'll have a T ring like Norm and I have. So hats off to him. Thank you, Quinn Ewers, for all you've done for the university, because he made a bunch of us happy in the stands, and handled adversity, handled it with class. And we also need to remember that this is a 19, 20-year-old kid. So hats off to him. I give him all the credit for helping taking us where we are right now.
So, Norman, I'm going to play a soundbite. It's kind of long from Sark about Quinn. But before, you guys take a look. You guys watching or listening, if you're listening, 36 games played, over 9,100 career yards. That's 3rd all-time passing in UT football history. 76 touchdowns to 24 picks, and 3rd time all-time career TDs in UT football history. And people question, when he came out of high school, he was as highly rated as Vince Young was out of Houston-Madison. Stark afterwards referred to Quinn as an inspiration.
He's taught me a lot, probably unknowingly to him, because what he went through every year dealing with injury, what he goes through, where I don't know if he'd ever live up to the standards of what everybody thinks he's supposed to be. But at the end of the day, all he did was show up every day and work and be a great leader and be a great teammate. And that's a real credit to him, because human nature in this day and age is to look at Twitter, to look at Instagram, to look at social media and articles written in fan boards and whatever else. And you can ride that emotional roller coaster of whatever you think public opinion could be. And that could be the opinion of 1 or 100 or whatever. But this guy never did that. All he did was come to work every day. All he did was be a great teammate. All he did was work on his craft, get himself as healthy as he could when he was injured, and then show up. And when it was time to show up. And maybe outside of the first 2 games, I don't think he played a game this year 100% healthy. And he fought through everything.
Wow. Think about that. Was not healthy. Rarely was he healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Norm, I mean, to me, Sark keeps it real on every response or response to any question with the media.
Yeah, I think Stevie nailed it in regards to my sentiments on Quinn. Thank you, first of all, Quinn.
Yeah.
And I think about, if you look at the last 2 years, I was just thinking as we were talking about this, here are the games. I think it's like 25-5 now, including the championship game. So last year, we only lost to Oklahoma during the regular season. And then we lost to Washington. Listen, guys, think about the last few years, 10 plus years here at the University of Texas. I don't know about you, but as a fan now and as an alumni, when I sit in the stands and go to these games, these are some of the best times of my life, sitting back and being proud as a Longhorn. Agreed. And we've all been through this, Stevie, sitting in the stands prior to the last 2 years. I'm like, dang. Since you played, Stevie, and those teams, right? And that's been a long time ago, right? We're talking about 10 plus years ago. So think about this, guys. Just Quinn, if you're listening, man, we appreciate you. And man, the sky's the limit to whatever you do, young man, in life. So you look at last year, 2 losses, Oklahoma, and then in that semi-championship game against Washington, which we could have won as well. We were right there at the end. 4th down, all those, so we were right in that game as well. Then this year, lost to Georgia twice, no one else during the regular season, and got down to playing, let the media tell you Ohio State was like LSU a few years ago. It's like, come on, guys. And then they were talking about, Ryan Day was about to lose his job 4 or 5 weeks ago. It's like, okay. But going back to Sean and Stevie, you think about that. Let that sink in. 5 games, what is it, 25-5 or something like that. He's always handled himself with class. And you guys know, as a quarterback at the University of Texas, the stuff that they've said about him and some of it, I've criticized him in the past, but in a way that, try to be as constructive as possible on making certain throws and that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, he's been a true champion and a true legacy player for the University of Texas. So Quinn, whatever you want to do in life, man, we appreciate you, man. And thank you for everything you've done here.
That speaks volumes coming from former Longhorns. You guys have mentioned them, and Jahdae Barron, one of those 512 boys from Connolly High School in Pflugerville, ends up winning the Thorpe Award, the best defensive back in the country. That is a select prestigious fraternity. And I love hearing this young man speak. And this is him on his experience as a Longhorn.
Just growing up in Austin and having an opportunity to wear burnt orange, it's been amazing. But, just to start it off, Quinn coming in, being my roommate, Coach Sark, he's changed my life completely. I'm totally a different person, just on and off the field, and just how I care about myself and just carry myself and things like that. But I was always told the purpose serves a purpose. That's a lot greater than me than any individual. But these 2 guys, they most definitely just changed my life and everybody else included.
Wow. Well-spoken, incredibly intelligent, and he plays that way. Very smart. Stevie, I don't know what else to say, but what's your tribute to Jahdae Barron and what he's contributed getting Texas football back to this national stage that it's on?
Yeah, getting Texas football back to the national stage, but also getting that DB room. You know, we called ourselves DBU for a long time.
Right.
And now we can get back to that. We have 3 Thorpe Award winners at the University of Texas. All 3 of them was, 2 of them was in my era, and then now one here with Jahdae, and now and also representing the Central Texas area in Pflugerville, is it?
Yeah, Connolly High School in
Yeah.
Pflugerville. All right, Pflugerville High
School. Yeah, and so it's pretty cool for him to throw back to his roots, and but hats off to him because he's a good kid as well, and good that he has cemented his legacy at the University of Texas. He can go on and do whatever he wants to do. Also, like Norm said, man, anybody in Austin will hire that kid right now. You know, so but he got a pretty healthy career in front of him in the NFL. But he always has something back at home waiting for him if he wants to and needs to, you know.
I'll tell you what, Norm and Stevie, you can see, because you guys, Norm, you spent backstory real quick. Norman and I, we first met in junior high. He moved to Austin for a year, and we connected at Martin Junior High on the east side. Then he went to Irving, where he played high school football, became the number 1 outside linebacker in the country there. And then we reconnected when he went to signed by UT and David McWilliams. And then I went to Stephen F. Austin. But we had a lot of mutual friends. But you guys can relate to this. I'm a 512 boy. We grew up idolizing the Longhorns. I can remember from age 6 watching them, going to games. We got to go on the field as kids before. You can't do that now. But those were the people. I wanted to be them.
Right.
Well, when he said that, it took me back to my childhood, to wear that burnt orange. So that tells me something that didn't exist when you were at Texas, Norman, and that was a lot of the local kids, they kind of like Sean Mitchell. They wanted to go to Texas, Jason Reeves, but they were entertaining thoughts like UCLA, Miami. Now it's cool. Let's go to Texas. Andrew Makuba transferring back from Clemson. There's some great stories on this team. And now we get to look to 2025. And I think before we talk about that, I think David Benda, who's another great story. I think he's a 6-year linebacker, a VIP of this podcast.
Hey, what a heck of a game he played.
Woo! Good God.
Or Friday, I'm sorry. Today's Sunday. What a heck of a game he played on Friday.
It's so much fun watching that kid play. A young man, let's say that.
Have all the faith in Sark and all the faith in this team next year. The standard's been set, and they're going to continue to build on the standard. So I'm not worried about anything. This journey's been phenomenal.
Are you guys, what concerns, optimism? What's your thoughts as you move forward? Because, man, it's a never-ending cycle. It's always looking to build the next team, especially through the portal.
This what makes me.
I'm sorry. What are you asking? What are you asking?
What are you guys concerned
about the team?
About the team?
The future.
The future. Yeah, the future is bright. I thought you were asking about Benda, but no. The future right now is bright, man. I am and that's why I got over this win. I mean, this loss. I wanted us to go on and play the national championship game and this and that, but. The University of Texas and CDC, Chris Del Conte, they're going to do everything that they can to keep this coaching staff together because we got some healthy goals in front of us, and we can do it. We got all the pieces that we need. If Ewers go away and go to the NFL or go to somewhere else whatever he wants to do. Arch is waiting and ready. I think the kid is ready. He looks like the prototypical quarterback, tall. He's gonna get bigger he's gonna get bigger and stronger and faster with Coach Beckton over the offseason. Coach is going to open up his offensive genius to put in plays made for Manning. Our defense, we got a lot of guys coming back, and the guys that we're losing, we know how to get people in. We might have to go to the portal to get some guys on some people on defense, and maybe I don't even think of any receivers or anything like that. And our running backs will be back, right?
Yeah.
The future is bright. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun, and I can't wait to go to spring ball in a couple of months.
Hey, let me just echo Stevie's sentiments. I'm gonna tell you how excited I am about this team next season. I've already started looking at hotels, reservations for Columbus, Ohio, literally yesterday.
Woo!
And I'm planning on going to Columbus. I'm planning on going to Georgia, and I'm planning on going to Florida.
Yep.
And I don't miss a home game.
I don't know. That's right.
I'm just telling you, I am so excited about the future of this team. And here's the beauty of it, Sean and Stevie, the future's now.
Yeah.
And to what Stevie just said, I can't wait to see this young man, Arch Manning. And not only him, but we got some young players. Can you imagine another year with a guy like Colin Simmons in the offseason, getting stronger, getting a little bigger, refining his skill set? Can you imagine? He's going to be like Von Miller.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In college, you guys remember Von Miller when he was at A&M? He was unstoppable. I mean, you guys think about it. We got true fresh. That I'm gonna tell you, kid. I'm gonna tell you another kid, Jelani McDonald,
the DB.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and then we got some guys now, especially with the way that the landscape of college football is now. We got guys that were supposed to be high school seniors that are now on campus, that are studs, that are 5 stars that we will see. As you know, now they got a full off season to get ready to play.
Yep.
A couple of them were in Texas jerseys on the field last night.
Guys, it's an exciting time to be a Longhorn.
Yep.
Well,
it really truly is.
So the season ended with that loss to Ohio State. I think it's laughable. It's funny. But the season next year starts at Ohio State. Just pick right back up. Hey, welcome, Arch Manning. If Quinn is in fact leaving, Arch, just get right in there in the horseshoe and do what Vince Young did. And I forgot the streak when Vince Young stepped in. There was a streak that he ended that a non-conference opponent had not won at Ohio State in a long time. Arch, welcome to Game 1 as a starter at the Shoe in Columbus, Ohio. Hey, it leads me to the question. To the viewers, listeners, all you fine Americans, you know, that watch and listen to this podcast, what are your expectations for the Longhorns in 2025? We'll go around the horn with Norman. What's your expectation?
In regards to wins and losses, or just in general?
Just in general from the team.
I think we have a shot to be right back where we're at right now in a championship game with the team that we have. We're gonna get a few more transfers to fill in some areas where we have some depth issues potentially. But I think the core of our team, we have a shot to be right back in the mix of things from a championship standpoint. First and foremost, playing the SEC championship, and then advancing, and then playing for the big award, the national championship.
Right. Stevie, you feel the same way?
I feel exactly the same way. I think that the winner of the Texas-Ohio State game is going to go and win the national championship, which I think Ohio State will win. And so the next game that we have to play is Ohio State. And heavy is the head that wears the crown. They'll have the crown on their head, and we're going to go knock it off in their place. And so that will submit us to say, let's go finish this season. Run through the SEC. It's going to be tough going back through Georgia. And Florida is not a slouch. They're getting better on that too. Vanderbilt, they got to come to us now, but somehow they had our number, but we pulled it out. Who else we got on the schedule next year?
A&M and Arkansas at DK.
A&M is going to want to get some revenge on us, and then Arkansas always that rival that they think that we're their rival. But so get through that. The goal is to win the SEC, and then but winning the SEC also gives you that first round bye, right?
Right.
We have to talk about that. The way this committee set up this playoff, because every first round bye team lost.
Yep.
Right. Because 24 days off for a football team is not good.
No.
And so I think that's partly why all the first round bye teams got out of there. They lost. You need to have tune-up games. But if we do get a first round bye, I think Sark has seen the formula and make sure that we get some really good practice in through that time. So I think everything's in front of us for next year. We are championship game or bust for me, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you got to look out for Sam Houston. They won 10 games this year at the FBS level. They're coming to Austin too.
I'm gonna give you guys this one little nuance too, guys.
Okay.
I think that we will see an uptick in our scoring.
Yes.
On the offensive side of the ball.
Good.
With the way Manning has a really nice touch on the deep ball, and with him being as mobile as he is, I think you're going to start seeing that really all gas, no brakes. I think you're going to see a offense that we haven't seen in a while here, that it's going to be super exciting to watch.
Yeah.
And it's going to showcase a lot of playmakers, right? So
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Maybe my advice for the fans, let the kid grow. There's going to be some down moments. He's not going to be successful every play.
Yeah.
But we know how it is to be a starting quarterback in Texas. Ask Quinn Ewers about that, unfortunately. Before we wrap up this first segment, because the second segment's going to be lightning fast, our boy Nate Boyer, former Longhorn, he does a lot, smart guy, he's funny. He's teamed up, and we have partnered here with Stories Inside the Man Cave with 8 Primal Meats. They harvest their meats on a ranch or farm in Weimar, Texas, just southeast of Austin, and you're going to see why through Nate's recent promo, how this is going to fit in well with Stories Inside the Man Cave.
Here in Texas, we take care of our meat, every single inch. Thick, juicy, delicious. 8 Primal. No hormones, no antibiotics, no bullshit. Feed the American dream.
Every inch. Thick and juicy.
Hey, man. You absolutely.
Yeah. Go off the thickness.
Every time I see Nate or see him in person or on camera, I feel like he should be on that show with what's the big show that hit it big out in Montana, the country western, the
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone, man.
Yeah.
I feel like Nate should be on Yellowstone, man. I feel like he should be. I love the guy. I'm a big fan of Nate. I've met him a few times, and we've had some pretty good conversations. But I totally see him on a show like Yellowstone.
Yeah, he's perfect.
Yeah.
So I've got a meat box from them. I've only tried the chicken, but I'm not saying this because we're partners now. Best chicken breast, because I love my breast.
Yeah.
And these
I'm sure
8
you
Primal
do.
breast, more than a handful.
Okay.
Very juicy, smoky, delicious. Hey, be thinking about this. Name a body part that starts with the letter T, and that's coming up in segment 2. We'll see you on the other side.
Here at Hargrove Roofing, we try to think outside the box to kind of get the creative juices flowing. So I brought in my friend Stevie Lee, former defensive tackle for the Texas Longhorns. He's going to help the team strategize, really motivate them, light a fire.
This guy's going to block down. This guy's going to block down. You put your butt into the guard, and that way my Mike linebacker gets free to do what?
Not only are they going to learn a thing or two, but they're going to also leave with a great attitude and a bunch of smiles on their faces.
I'm sorry, what does this have to do with roofing exactly?
Get out.
Right now.
I said get out.
For me, that's what it's all about. It's just having fun, making our employees have a great time. Hargrove Roofing. Know who's on your roof.
So Steve Harvey does a great job on hosting anything except for Miss Universe one time, but absolutely hilarious, makes it fun, and Family Feud is a must-watch sometimes. And on our TikToking in the Man Cave, Steve Harvey provided us the laughter on this one, plus the guest.
Tell me a part of the body that begins with the letter T.
Titties.
Without hesitation, and he saw absolutely nothing wrong.
Everybody's thinking it. I mean, what are you supposed to say? T. He teed him up with T.
He teed him up, but tibula?
Oh, tibia?
Yeah.
That's a good one. Man,
Yeah.
Toes.
Huh?
Toes.
Toes.
Yeah.
Triceps.
I'm a feet man. By the way. I like toes.
You're a podiatrist.
Yeah, I'm gonna call you Rex Ryan.
No, don't call me Rex now.
He's well documented. Rex love. Hey, I have a little foot fetish myself.
There you go.
Not gonna lie.
Hey, man, tell me something good.
Norman Watkins, longtime brother. Stevie Lee, a brother from, well, we are both my brothers. But we'll begin with the VIP, the Norman Watkins. Tell me something good, my brother.
2025. Be bold.
Mm-hmm.
Have no regrets. Be intentional.
I love that.
Yeah.
Norm is magical with words.
Yeah, he is.
And I almost said prosthetic. He's prophetic.
Thinking about feet again, aren't you?
Thinking about those feet. The lovely Trish.
He's thinking about the Boomerang movie.
Yeah.
Hammer time.
Yeah. That's good stuff, man. Something good, man. Norm is correct, man. 2025, man. I want everyone to go out there and yes, be bold and thrive in 2025, man.
Yes.
We're here. It's the beginning of the year. It's the 12th day of the month right now. Go do your thing and be bold. 2024 was not a great year for me and my family, but 2025, we said we're going to thrive and survive, you know? So it's going to be new beginnings for us. My oldest one is about to go to college in the fall. So we're looking forward to everything and being open to whatever God has for us. So that's my something good today, man.
I love it. Both of y'all inspire me in case you were not aware, but I'll just tell you something good. Be where your feet are. We're going cliche, but don't be blind to what's in front of you. What's in front of you, we often overlook because we are so distracted by this, by our head. What do you tell your wife, Stevie? Get out of your head. It's what?
Get out of your own head, man. It's scary in there.
Let's get out of our own heads because I think we miss opportunities when we get into our head.
Yep.
Go with that internal GPS. It'll direct you where you belong. Norman Watkins, man, I always thank you. You have been a blessing in my life for a long time as a brother. Appreciate you joining us for this episode. Man, it's been fun per the usual.
Man, listen, thank you guys as always. Man, I love you guys, and you guys are a blessing. And let's go be great in 2025.
Oh, let's do it. Let's do it.
I'm here.
So for the amazing number one at Texas, a brother, the Norman Watkins, for him and his family and everybody who knows him in his sphere, and to the lovely Stevie Lee and his family. No, I didn't mean to call you lovely, but to the Hargrove family.
I receive it, man.
You take it like a man.
Yeah.
To the wonderful city of Shreveport, Louisiana, the hometown of the Stevie Lee and the home office of the Hargrove Roofing, and to my college alma mater town, that being Nacogdoches, Texas, and my amazing hometown, Austin, Texas. And to the OG Man Cave boys, that being Hardball Hards, Big Mike, and the Coach Mo. What do we tell them, Stevie Lee?
We out.
You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up.
I said get out.